Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, as we say every single week on these Thursday live training webinars. We want to make sure that you walk away with a ton of nuggets, right? I always say at least three new ideas, maybe a niche, maybe a new product idea that you can take to the market, take to your existing book of business, client base, maybe a new social media ad, whatever it is, right? You have to open new doors in 26 and make more sales. That's what it's all about. And I think we're going to accomplish that with today's presentation. So this is going to be awesome. It's an eye opener for all of us. They've done some great stuff just recently on the tech side, the product side, the underwriting side, all the above. So just sit back, relax. I want you to take plenty of notes, right? Use that Q&A pane. You can expand it or minimize it. It's part of the go-to webinar software, and anything that you see that maybe you have a question about or comment, any feedback about the training. If we need a marketer to call you or email you as soon as we're done, just let us know, please. Don't be shy today. We want to make sure, again, that you remember this stuff, not just for the next hour, but by Friday, Monday, right? Next week, next month. And again, just move the needle and make more in new sales in 26. It's the name of the game. So today we're talking about Life of the Southwest, A plus rated. They've been around a long time, as we know. Most of you have heard of LSW, NGL, National, or I'm sorry, NLG, National Life Group. And what's so interesting, obviously, they have the career side that's been around forever, and then the brokerage side, which is the side that we're all on. And if you are with Levinson today, great. If you're with a competitor IMO, you definitely want to move that contract. Why? Number one, we match or beat your commissions, most of the time beat, plus take advantage of leads for contracting or cash for contracting with your first paid application. And you get all of our tools and sales platforms on top of that at no charge to you. Okay, so a great opportunity not only for you to sell LSW, get top commissions and renewals, but also the free scholarship program, the sales platform. We now have new technology called Luma that we are rolling out in about 1 to 2 weeks. You're going to see a training announced, but this is all 100% complimentary for our agents. So you got to leverage this stuff again to move the needle in 26. So the reason why we have LSW today is they have a instant decision platform that we're going to touch on. They also just raised their no exam limit to $5 million, which is just insane. I mean, we all know just a few years back, right? Yeah, maybe you would get to $1 million to age 50 or 60, depending on the carrier and the product. And then there was always some fat built in as far as premium charges, or maybe commissions were low, whatever the case is. But now you're getting the most competitive product, the best commissions, and true no exam underwriting to $5 million. So it's just awesome to see. LSW is also known as the living benefits carrier. They're the leader in the space, okay, when it comes to term and permanent insurance. Another huge plus, and I've seen some monster cases go to LSW when it comes to foreign nationals, right, with underwriting or even premium finance, another big plus that they specialize in. So I don't want to steal any of Vanessa's thunder. We have our feature presentation today, and she's going to dive in for like 45 minutes. So we got a lot of great stuff to come, but I just wanted to give you enough to make sure you were excited about today's training. So let's keep moving forward. What we're going to do is, like we do every Thursday, we're going to have our question of the day. Whoever stays on until the end, right before 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to ask a question that has to do with our slides. Whoever answers first and correct wins an Apple iWatch with your first paid LSW app. Okay, so Apple iWatch with your first paid LSW application. Let's keep moving forward. Make sure you're on until the end. What I wanted to show you quickly is what's going on in the space now that 25 is over, right? The latest LIMRA stats are out, And what do you know? IUL was up again 5% year over year in total premium sales. So that's a big deal. Okay. And if your client or prospect, if they want to see guarantees, we have an answer for that too. We have great products around GUL, IUL with riders. Depending on the needs, we have a product for you. Even indexed whole life is available now through Augustar. So obviously, we want to stick with LSW, but if there's a need, if there's a niche the client has to have, we have an answer for everyone. But these stats are just astonishing. What's going on right now is awesome, and the place to be is in our industry, especially for the new year here in 26 and moving into 7 and 8. Let's keep moving forward. What is most important to us is our agents, right? We don't sell on a retail level. As you know, it should be illegal, okay, in my opinion. We are 100% wholesalers, as you know. So when we see our agents' feedback like this from Mir and Gavin, it means the world, right? You're our number one, you're our customer, like I said. So please keep sharing on our Google reviews page, on our Levinson Facebook page. This is what makes us so happy in these four walls at Levinson and Associates, right? The four walls now are over 4 states, but the point is, our staff is here to make you happy, right? We always say 99% of the time, if there's a 1% chance we do drop the ball on something, we are human. Carrie and myself are here. Feels like 24/7 to help you turn that 1% chance into a positive. Okay, so just always know that in the back of your mind. Let's keep moving forward. I want to talk about our big powwow event of the year. The expo is back. And when I say bigger and better than ever, I mean it. And here's why. So, this is the first time ever in our history since 1972 where we had an expo event. Number one, with almost 300 agents. Number two, where we are bringing to the table life, health, and annuities for the first time ever, right? We were always known as the life and annuity shop. Well, now we are incorporating the latest health department to the expo. Okay, so we're going to have life, annuity, health carriers, and presenters throughout the day. It's going to be an awesome day with a networking lunch. This is complimentary to everyone. Just make sure you RSVP now because we're kept at 300 per the fire code. The hotel was just renovated right on the ocean. In fact, we will pay for a two-bedroom suite for you. In fact, you and a spouse will even pay for round trip airfare as long as you hit those numbers in the bottom right corner. But if you're brand new with us, okay, and you say, Bill, I just want to get a taste. I want to learn, right? I want to make sure this is the company I want to put all my business with. No problem. Okay. Once you're onboarded, you're appointed with at least one company. Hopefully, it's LSW. It's complimentary. Okay. You don't even have to write a piece of business. It's 100% free for you. No small print or gray area. But you got to make sure you register. Let's keep moving forward. I have just another 2 slides here, and then Vanessa will take the wheel. This is our 411 alert newsletter. So just think about this for a second. Now, especially, right, we're involved in the life, annuity, and health side. We have over 100 carriers, right? Thousands and thousands of products, new technology. In fact, we just rolled out Firelight on the annuity side. We have this Luma platform on the life and annuity side. You're going to see in a couple weeks. But you ask yourself, how am I supposed to watch everything that's new and hot, or know that a product was discontinued, or you just launched an indexed whole life product, right, Bill? How am I supposed to keep track of all this? It's very simple. Okay. In the 411 newsletter, everything is at your fingertips, and we make it so easy for you. Okay. And we know that. We get it. All right. So just make sure you keep your eyes peeled for this. If you don't see it, let us know. That means we have your incorrect email address. And just call in and let us know what the correct email is, or maybe it's sitting in your junk box. Let's keep going forward. This is my last slide, and then Vanessa will take the wheel real fast. So, our top IUL carriers. Now, it's very important for you to know, like I just mentioned, we have an answer for every type of client or prospect situation. So we try not to have much overlap with our carriers. Okay, so what you're going to notice is each company, and in fact, each product has a certain niche in the space. When it comes to IUL with living benefits, right? And now we have this instant decision platform and even no exams to 5 million. You're going to notice NLG or LSW is in the top left corner. You're also going to notice a red asterisk. That means it comes with our free scholarship program for any client that purchases a LSW policy from you. As long as you're a Sage active agent with Levinson, this is free, but make sure you're running with this stuff, okay? Another thing I want to mention quickly is the new Luma platform will actually compare various products for you on one spreadsheet and even put together a consumer presentation. And all of this is complimentary, which will help you sell IUL in layman's terms for that consumer. Obviously, to show the value, right, and the difference between products and carriers. So I love this stuff. Let's keep moving forward. If you have any questions, again, we have 11 marketers. So reach out to whoever your marketer is. If you're not sure, just call into the home office here and we will make sure we make the introduction and get you set up. Okay, without further ado, we have Vanessa here, our regional sales expert with LSW, and she's going to take it from here. Vanessa?
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. It is an honor and a pleasure. So yeah, definitely pay attention, you guys. You can get a Apple iWatch. That is great for your New Year's resolutions. So good evening or good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vanessa Alfaro. I'm your key account associate. I'm your representative from National Life Group, based out of Miami, Florida. Super excited to be with you today. And to be in partnership with Levinson and Associates. Thank you so much for teeing that up so nicely and talking about where we position ourselves in the industry. So today, definitely hope to bring some value, talk to you about some new products. As Bill was saying, we have our new Rapid Protect product, as well as our Flex Life IUL, which is not new, but we have made some updates. I also wanted to start off talking about how we ended up the year in 2025 and where we want to go in 2026, and we definitely need your help to complete these goals. And so, just starting off with how we ended up the year, $634 million in life sales. Thank you so much to those who contributed to that number. $229 million in flexible annuity sales and $3 billion in SPDA. And of course, we've served 1.6 million customers, 268,000 new policies, $3.1 billion in total benefits paid. You want to make sure that the carrier that you're working with completes their promises, right? And that pay out the death benefits available to your clients. And of course, we do pride ourselves in living benefits. And so excited to talk about that today. We've paid out $122 million in total living benefits. And so we have some lofty goals here in 2026. And we need your help to complete those. So we have $700 million in life sales that we want to achieve, $300 million FPDA and SPDA $4 billion. Now, just giving you guys some high-level overview of who National Life Group is. I know you have a ton of carriers that you can work with, so we appreciate your business and your relationship. I know that Levinson and Associates has been around since 1972. We have also been around for a long time, so we appreciate those relationships. Like Bill was saying, we're actually 178 years old. So we've been around since 1848 through economic depressions, through crises, through downturns. And so we want to continue to be a valuable partner to you for 178 more years and to come. And so when you're looking at the life insurance companies in the United States, there's actually 719 that you can work with, right? 532 of those are stock companies. And so a stock company is going to be different than us. We're a mutual company. A mutual company is where the policyholders are the owners, okay? And so what that means to you is that we are going to keep our policyholders front of mind when it comes to any decisions that we're making. We're not making rash decisions for short-term wins for outside policyholders. Our policyholder is our #1 client at the end of the day. And additionally, when you are comparing mutual companies with others, we have the most comprehensive suite of living benefits, including our accelerated benefit riders, terminal, chronic, critical illness, Alzheimer's, critical injury. We also have that lifetime income benefit rider on the Flex Life, and our fertility journey rider. So definitely pride ourselves in bringing value to your clients, not only if they pass away, but while they're living, right? They call it life insurance for a reason. And so because we've kept our promises for a long time, we've only had 16 CEOs in that period of 178 years. We're playing for the long game, right? So we are #1 in IUL market share, #1 in IUL sales, #8 in individual life insurance sales. We definitely want to get to top 3. And again, we need your help. We're making some advancements here on our end. And then of course, you can be sure that you're backed by a strong company. We have A+ superior ratings for AM Best, A+ Standard & Poor's, A1 Moody's, and 90 Comdex rating. And so we recently had a meeting with some of our agencies over in New Orleans where we gave them some updates on our products and our company. And so I'm just giving you a mini version of that before we get started. So just to give you a bird's eye view into what our team looks like on the underwriting side, we do have 130 underwriters, 20 specifically for large cases, 3 medical directors on staff, so we don't have to outsource those: cardiology, pulmonary, and toxicology. We did $250 million in large cases last year, and we have a $4 million retention. However, we did write 2 $100 million policies last year, so we definitely have that retention, more retention with outside reinsurers. Okay, and so like Bill was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we have increased our easy underwriting limits. What is easy underwriting? This means that no exams needed for these types of situations. 0 to 50, of course, it depends on the situation. You're going to get up to $5 million without exams. 51 to 60 years old, $3 million, and 61 to 65, $250,000. So this is very exciting stuff. We've already launched this, so this is already in play. And so just to close out this section, the need has never been greater for people like yourself. Life insurance ownership has declined over the last 20 years. There's actually a $14 trillion gap in the United States. So 51% of US adults have life insurance. So that means that we need to be talking to the other 49%. 40% of insured adults say they need more coverage, right? And so the industry is actually 100,000 agents short. And so there's never been a greater need for what you all do day in and day out. And so by partnering with us, by educating yourself on the different types of products that you can offer your clients, you are providing those financial solutions and financial peace of mind to these families. Another thing, 11,000 people turning 65 every single day. The need, the opportunity has never been greater as well. And so the focus of the call today, of course, is to talk about Rapid Protect, our new instant approval product, and some updates on Flex Life. At the end, if I have time, not sure if I would have time, but definitely want to be respectful of time, but want to show you the portal as well, if time allows, okay? And so when we're talking about Rapid Protect, it's rapid, right? So we're going to give you an instant approval. So you're looking at ABRs available. There's, of course, we have our death benefit, 15-year policy protection period, 17 health questions on this product, okay? So essentially, we're giving them permanent life insurance immediately. And so when we're comparing our Rapid Protect to our other IULs and our suite of IULs, the objectives are going to be a little bit different. The product is going to be designed a little bit different. So it is important to know what you're dealing with here when we're talking about Rapid Protect in comparison with a Flex Life or Summit Life. So let me just break down the differences at a high level. So with Rapid Protect, this is going to be for somebody who wants permanent coverage instantly, okay? And so you're getting permanent coverage instantly. The focus is more so on the death benefit. Of course, we do have that bucket with the cash value that's growing. If you have somebody that says, well, Bill, I would like a product that grows my cash value as well as gives me that death benefit, right? I want the ability to grow my cash value more. That's whenever I would talk to them about Flex Life. Okay. Now, if you have somebody who says, hey, my main objective is that death benefit, I need something ASAP today, maybe we'll talk about Rapid Protect, right? The Rapid Protect is also a term alternative, and I'll walk you through that sales idea here in a second. In comparison with our Flex Life, we have all of our living benefits available. Rapid Protect, we do have all of our ABRs, which is the chronic, critical, and I'll walk you through all that here in a second, okay? We can offer $50,000 to $500,000 of death benefit with Rapid Protect, minimum $50,000 with Flex Life. And then finally, with our Summit Life, this is gonna be our high net worth clients. So minimum $1 million death benefit. And so somebody who plans to max fund that type of product, okay? So digging more into what a Rapid Protect customer looks like, it's somebody who is looking for speed of issue and convenience, prefers a digital-based experience. I'll talk about this here more in a second, but this is definitely just going to be electronic. We do not have a paper application for Rapid Protect, or we wouldn't be able to give you an answer in 15 minutes, right? Need immediate coverage, not interested in a physical exam, and want immediate peace of mind. Now, let's think about what that looks like for our different age brackets. So somebody who's in their 20s to 30s, maybe this is their first time getting life insurance, right? They want that basic protection, first time buyer, living benefits, and some savings. Now, somebody's in their 40s or 50s, living benefits are something that we want to talk about always, savings, mortgage coverage, because the average age of the first time home buyer is 38, okay, with the median age 56, all right? So if you have a mortgage, you have a breadwinner that passes away, you want to make sure that the family can still stay in the house if that breadwinner were to pass away, right? So at least mortgage protection. 50s to 60s, the goals are going to be a little bit different. A protection for legacy and health, permanency of life insurance. Maybe they're in a transitional stage, pre-retirement, paying off debt, final expenses, credit cards, and they have access to those ABRs. Okay, and so further comparison of Rapid Protect and Flex Life, our main focus is on our Rapid Protect is death benefit, whereas we can offer that death benefit and more cash growth in the cash value accumulation bucket with our Flex Life and Summit. Best underwriting class is standard with Rapid, elite with Flex Life and Summit. Indexing options are going to be a little bit different with S&P 500 only, which is still amazing. And then our Flex Life, we have S&P, US Paysetter, and Balanced Trend. So you can spread that out, not just 500 US best companies, but globally with our Balanced Trend. Available riders, we have our ABRs on our Rapid Protect and Overloan, whereas we have the full rider suite available with Flex Life. You can get an approval in minutes in comparison with days on Flex Life. Now, this is something that I've made sure to mention, especially being here in South Florida. You do have to have a social security number to get started with our Rapid Protect. Now, Bill did mention that one of our niches is for nationals. With that being said, to us, and this is kind of going off on the side, but to us, a foreign national is somebody who lives outside of the US for more than 4 months at a time, okay? Now, if you know somebody who wants coverage, right? They live here all year, they just don't have a social, maybe they're residents, or they have other type of identification, visa, passport, we can take them with our Flex Life, okay? And that's why, you know, we're flexible in the types of clients that we do accept. It's just with the Rapid Protect, in order for us to give them that instant approval, they do have to have a social security number. Surrender period, 15 years, as well as the policy protection period, and then 10 years in comparison with our Flex Life. Can the owner insured be the same person? Yes, it has to be the same person with our Rapid Protect, but in juvenile cases, the owner must be the parent, and then Flex Life can be different. Can we convert from term? We cannot convert a product from term to permanent with Rapid, but we can convert it from term to permanent with our Flex Life. Okay, so with Rapid Protect, I can send you guys a link after this call as well that shows a brochure. We have this flyer. It's a pre-screening flyer that talks about all the conditions that would make them ineligible for the Rapid Protect immediately. But that's not to say that they couldn't apply for a Flex Life, okay? So if you have somebody with history of heart attack, history of cancer, stroke, I saw diabetes type 1 on there, right? So these types of situations, immediately not going to be approved with our Rapid, but that's not to say that they would not be approved for our Flex Life. Because with our Flex Life, we can do a more comprehensive underwriting on that product. Okay. And so I'm not going to repeat some of the stuff I've already said, but we can offer this to somebody up to 60 years old. Okay. And we have an accumulation value bonus 0.2% annually beginning in year 6 here. Okay. All right, so again, this is going to be an electronic based application. Make sure that you know how to use the portal. At the end, again, if I have time, I'll share with you guys how the portal looks, because we have won awards on our portal. We have state-of-the-art technology for clients, agents, so we're really proud of that. Make sure that your non-resident appointments are good to go. Make sure you have Wi-Fi, obviously, guys. And then, of course, make sure the clients have their doctor information available and their banking information on hand. Okay, because if we're able to give them that immediate approval, we are going to withdraw that money and they are going to be covered. So you want to make sure you have all of that good to go. Okay, so when we're talking about a case study here, I have 2 examples. So this is Eric. He's a 45-year-old entrepreneur. He wants to buy an established gym, has most in cash, but needs a loan for $250,000. The existing owner is rushing the sale, closing in 5 days. And the bank will approve the loan if he has life insurance with the bank named as a beneficiary. So what can you provide to this type of client? Face amount up to $500,000, instant approval and binding of the policy within minutes. And then we can change that beneficiary to the bank in time for closing. Okay, so that's an idea there. We also have the case study of Susanna. This is maybe a little more common. 38 years old, mother of 2, primary breadwinner. She just bought a new home big enough for the family. The husband has good income, but it can vary by season. She's nervous about the situation and wants protection now. Concerned about protecting the house if she dies too soon or cannot work due to a severe illness. What can you offer to Susanna? Instant approval and binding of the policy within minutes. She also has access to those ABR, so if she were to become ill, we can assist her with a portion of her death benefit, right, while she's living, right? And then, of course, we have that premium flexibility of universal life insurance provides added peace of mind. Now, in this situation, you could also offer her Flex Life, right? I know she's concerned, she's nervous. If she can wait a few days too, I'm not just saying push just Flex Life or push just Rapid Protect. It just depends on the situation of the client, okay? And so finally, talking about Rapid Protect in comparison with a term, because in the beginning I did say this is a term alternative. If we had a 35-year-old male wanting $300,000 in coverage up to the age of 90, if they would have bought a term at age 35, of course, they're young, they're healthy, they're not paying a ton. They're paying $200 a year from 35 to 55. Now, if you have somebody who needs to renew, right, because he wants coverage until the age of 90 and all he knows is term. So 35 to 55, 55 to 75, he's paying a little bit more, $1,500 a year. And then finally, coverage from 75 to 90, he's paying a lot, $15,000 a year here. In comparison, if he would have just bought a Rapid Protect from the beginning, he would have bought one policy with $2,000 a year, okay? Permanent coverage, so he does not have to worry about renewing, requalifying, getting sick during this time, right? Because there is a chance where you just don't qualify for life insurance at all in the future if you have a term. And then on top of that, he's growing his cash value, right? And then the cherry on top is that he would have saved over $100,000 during this span if he would have just paid for one policy. Okay, so that is our term alternative, term versus Rapid Protect. Okay, perfect. So another thing I wanted to show you today is our Flex Life. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with our Flex Life. If not, this is going to be our principal product, right? It is new and improved, so we always want to make sure that we're giving you the best products to offer to your clients. And so I'll be sharing some changes that we've made to this, but we can offer this to somebody up to the age of 85, minimum $50,000 of face value. Of course, we have S&P, US Pacesetter, Balanced Trend. I'll talk to you about some of those rates and how those have changed, right? Accumulation value bonus 0.25% annually beginning in the year 2. and surrender schedule is going to be lower than our Rapid Protect at 10 years. Okay. Again, you don't have to have a social. You can have passport number, visa, green card. We can get started with our Flex Life. Now, something that you'll see a lot if you're on our website, if you're looking at our brochures, is this puzzle piece. Okay. So these are 3 situations where we can assist, right? If somebody dies too soon, if they become ill, and they live too long, right? A lot of the time when we're talking about life insurance and we're talking about financial products, it's numbers, it's rates, it's this and that, but we forget to humanize this, right? This is a family we're helping. This is a person that we are assisting. These are situations that are going to happen, right? They say that 2 things are certain, death and taxes, okay? So definitely want to make sure that they're covered with that life insurance. Of course, we all know that part. But hey, did you know that your life insurance can actually help you while you're alive, right? So we do offer the most comprehensive suite in the industry of living benefit protections. And so with that being said, if somebody were to become terminally ill, right? If you have a chronic illness, critical injury, Alzheimer's disease, you can access a portion of your death benefit for whatever you want to do. We are not going to control how you spend your money. We'll just sign the check, right? So if you want to modify your home, if you want to travel, if you want to use it on medical expenses, that is not our play. That is up to you, right? And so this is an example of a page you'll see on the illustration. Always, page 2. You'll see, hey, I'll start paying my policy, paying $324 a month. Obviously, it's going to be different for everybody's situation. And then it'll show Mr. and Mrs. Client, if you die tomorrow, this is the amount your family's going to receive. If you need cash, this is our cash flow that's accumulating, right? Of course, we can't tell the future. We don't know what the S&P is going to do or any other indice or the market, right? But at least we can make sure to tell them, hey, at least you'll be protected from the downside of the market. And we'll talk about that here more in a second. But the thing I wanted to focus on this page is if you become ill, okay? So the way that we access the death benefit is everyone is going to be different. So with this terminal illness, chronic, critical injury, every one of these ABRs are going to be different in the way that you access the death benefit. But these are examples, right? So if you have, in most states, it's 24 months to live. We'll give you a lump sum. Florida actually just changed the state law to 11 months as of a few days, or I'm sorry, 12 months as of a few days ago. So Florida specifically has changed to 12 months. But if you have 12 months to live, here's your lump sum. You can use that for whatever it is that you need to do. Chronic illness, right? We have a monthly payout here, lump sum for critical injury, Alzheimer's, right? Alzheimer's is huge. That's something that definitely differentiates ourselves, and it's life-changing, right? And so we already talked about that. We have added 2 new riders to our Flex Life, okay? And that is our premium chronic care rider and our compassionate care rider. So I'm going to talk to you about each one right now. Premium chronic care rider. So essentially, I did talk to you about our chronic illness ABR, okay? If you cannot perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, such as bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, incontinence, you can access this chronic illness, right? Which is going to be a monthly benefit. But now with our Flex Life, that's the most recent one, you can actually opt into premium chronic care rider as well. This is going to be at a cost depending on your age and all that good stuff. But basically what we're doing is we are providing a $3 million lifetime limit. This is going to be dollar for dollar, right? It's not going to be a discounted rate, right? So this is going to be dollar for dollar matching the death benefit. So if you have a policy that's $3 million, you have up to $3 million that you can use. And I'll show you an example here in a second. But if you were to combine your $1.5 million that you get in the limit for your ABRs and your $3 million PCC, which is this optional rider, you can get up to $4.5 million in potential living benefits. Now, the way it works is you do have to elect 2 or 4% of the death benefit that you're going to get paid out on a monthly basis, okay? Now, that is something that you have to choose from the beginning, okay? So that can go down. So if you chose 4% in the beginning and you want to reduce it to 2, that's fine, but it cannot increase. So you can't go from 2 to 4, okay? And so again, when you're looking at this, let's look at a situation here in comparison to just the chronic care rider, the chronic illness ABR. In this situation here that we illustrated, they're getting 2% of their death benefit, and they got $2,000 a month rather than just a $1,300 a month. Of course, see what works with you and your clients, but this is another benefit that we have added on to the new Flex Life. We also have what's called the Compassionate Care Program. So with our Compassionate Care Program, this is essentially a social worker working with your family, and you will be assigned to one person if you have a situation such as disability and chronic illness questions, hospice and bereavement, navigating Veterans Affairs, Medicare, Alzheimer's. I mean, if anyone has gone through situations like this, you know how hard it can be without having third-party intervention, trying to figure it all out and trying to keep your life together. Now we actually work with a company called Home Thrive. And so everybody, and this is free. This is included in our Flex Life free of charge. All you have to do is sign up. You have your circle of care, which is going to be the people in your family that can assist you in this type of situation or can access these social workers. This is 24/7. And this is just another way that we are protecting our clients and helping them through the hardest times, right? So that could be anything from medication tracking, maybe you're not sure which nursing home to call. And it's 24/7, guys, so that's outside of the 9 to 5 limits. We know that issues and problems happen outside of 9 to 5 limits, okay? And then finally, if you live too long, right? People are living a long time these days. We have the solution for that as well, okay? Not only do we have cash value that's growing at a very strong rate, we also have our lifetime income benefit rider, okay? So we do have those different index crediting strategies such as US Paysetter, Balanced Trends, S&P, and then our fixed account, okay? And of course, we're giving you 100% downside protection from the market. Anytime that there's a negative return, we'll give you 0, which is our power of 0. This is a great thing. And right now, we have actually increased our caps on S&P 500. So before it was 9.2, and now it's 11% on our S&P 500 cap focus. So across the board, we have increased our caps and par rates with our strategies. And that's exciting as well. So I want to finish off Flex Life with this situation. Oliver, 57 years old. He wants to leave a legacy for his family and grow cash value while protecting it from market loss. He's looking forward to spending more time with his kids and grandkids when he retires. He wants a way to protect himself and his family if life takes an unexpected turn. With Flex Life, he can adjust his coverage, help guard against loss while securing his retirement and leaving a legacy for his family. So what can you assist him with? You can give him a permanent death benefit, upside potential with that 11% cap, downside protection. There's a negative return from the market. He's completely protected because we're not actually investing his money in the market. We are following an index. And finally, tax-free guaranteed income, right? So he can use that lifetime income benefit rider, and he can go ahead and start taking those withdrawals for the rest of his life. Okay. So with that being said, I think we have 4 minutes here, if I'm not mistaken, to go ahead and talk about our portal. I like to show it off because it is just a great resource for you all. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to the portal. And I encourage you to go in. Hopefully you're contracted with us. If you're not, get on that first. Okay, this is an example. Okay, somebody asked me if this is my portal. I was like, I wish. Okay, so this is our portal, state of the art. We have won awards for this. We have a ton of resources for you all in here. Of course, you can see your in-force book of business. We have compensation information, marketing, okay, products. If you want to look at any of the products that I talked about today, click on products, life insurance. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see IUL, okay? If you want to learn a little bit more about each of those, I encourage you to look at that. Now, if you see that says NL, that means New York, okay? We also have product training. We have a great learning library, okay, with videos, great resource for you all. I encourage you to go in here. We have product knowledge, professional, art of the sale. It's just great, the wealth of knowledge we have here. Additionally, we do have a webinar calendar. I know that this Levinson and Associates has a ton of information too, so I don't want to take away from the resources that they already have as well. If you want to run illustrations on the right-hand side, of course, we have our illustrations. Now you can run that Rapid Protect illustration from there. If you would like to order brochures, you can order from forms and materials up to 50 brochures for free every day. If you would like to see the status of your policies, okay, you can go in and click on that portal. And if you see a bubble, that means that we have direct communication with either our underwriter or new business case manager. And we actually can reply directly in the portal. We can see what's outstanding. And so that is how we help with the ease of business. Okay. If you ever are curious about our underwriting guide on the right-hand side, underwriting, go ahead and click on that. And if you've never used an X-ray tool, I know I'm throwing a bunch of stuff at you guys at the end, but I'm just so excited about showing you all this. Our underwriting quotes is a really cool tool. So if you have somebody who you're not sure if they're going to be approved, or you want to get an idea or a sense of what they're going to be rated at, if you click on X-ray, if the person has 4 conditions or less, you can actually create a new case in here, put as much information about the client as you can, okay? And essentially, this is a way to get an instant tentative quote, okay? And on the right-hand side, you see you can get a tentative quote here, therefore saving you and your client's time. All right, client intelligence, I encourage you all to be using this. We have birthdays, anniversaries, claims. If you ever want to see your client's statements, that's something that you can check in Enforce. If you ever want to reallocate the indexes, that's something that we can do in Force. Commissions, right? And then of course we have our social media feed and information, how we're involved in the community. Okay, so again, when we're going to illustrations, if we click on live, all right, with our Rapid Protect, I know this is new, so I'll walk you through this. Let's say we have a client in Florida, they want an IUL. I'm gonna click on Rapid Protect, okay. We can go ahead and put in all our information here like normal. We usually leave it at standard non-tobacco, right? And guys, you can go ahead and you can connect your application right from our illustration, okay? Another thing that's new now that I'm here in the illustration tool is that now you have to select the indexes that you would like to follow. So in the past, you've seen that with our Flex Life, it's automatically 100% in the pay setter. That's gone, okay? So now you have to actually elect the index, okay? And so whenever this turns green, this on the left-hand side, this iGo e-app, you can go ahead and select that and start the e-application. All right, so that was my quick little overview of the portal. But again, thank you so much for the time today. We definitely want to be a resource to you and your clients. Anything that you need, please feel free to reach out through the approved methods here at Levinson and Associates. Thank you so much for the time.
Great job, Vanessa. That was a lot of information in a short amount of time, but you nailed it. I also want to let everyone know everything, or not, I shouldn't say everything, but a lot of what Vanessa just touched on, like with X-ray and then the e-app or drop tickets, that's all on our website as well, which feeds right into LSW and iPipeline. So that's another great resource. Also, if you have a group of agents and you want us to, whatever, set up a Zoom or do a live training in person, we can grab Vanessa, and I know she's up for this because she's offered it many times, and we can actually have a LSW and Levinson sponsored event just for your group. So just keep that in the back of your mind as well as we go throughout the rest of the presentation. Let's keep moving forward. So what I want to do next is talk about how to get started. I mentioned it earlier. A lot of you already have appointments with Levinson, which is great. If you don't and you want to transfer or move the contract, or maybe you never had an LSW contract, whatever it is, everything is here in front of you. And then, like I said, with your first written application, you get your choice: cash for contracting, leads for contracting, and then typically we beat your commissions or at the minimum match it, and all of the other various sales tools at no charge, including the scholarship program, which is a slam dunk, especially if you're marketing like IUL, whatever, online to parents or grandparents. And now here's a $40,000 value scholarship for little Johnny or Sarah, okay, who's now, 7 years old or whatever. So you got to think like that. You got to have that scrappy mentality when you're marketing and trying to create new leads, new traffic, opening doors. So it's basically taking anything that's on the shelf that's collecting dust, I can take off, get it out there to market, and then six people reply, and you just sold four out of the six new policies. So that's how you have to think, and we have all the tools to help you accomplish that. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, think of it like this: you have this new Levinson and Associates, right? We've been around since 1972. That's great. Okay, well, fast forward to 26. And now we have this partner, right, AmeriLife, which we announced in October of 25. What, and why made us so special now, so great now? Okay, what's the story, Bill? Right, you're an agent, sitting on a park bench waiting for the value add, the sizzle, icing on the cake. Well, here's the great news. Think about it like this: everything we had before was great, customer service number one, which, in my opinion, is most important. But now we have this health insurance department. Now we have group benefits that our agents can participate in. Okay, so there's a group platform. Hey, Bill, I need health insurance, but I want to stay on the independent side because I want to max out my commissions, right, and renewals. Great, no problem. So we have an E&O policy now that starts at just under $300, covers B-rated companies or greater. Okay, and you can pay monthly, by the way. All right, and a whole nother toolbox that's available to you at no charge with the group benefits, Lead Star, CRM, and now Luma and Firelight, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Okay, so you got to run with this stuff. There's so much. I mean, we're going to have another webinar just focused on all of the value add. We're also going to have two booths at the expo this year. So you can talk to someone about it and find out about the group health plan. Okay, does it cover my family? And what are the pluses and deductibles and whatever it is. So we're going to be there to help you every step of the way, and that's my promise to you, like we've never been before. Okay, this is like the version 2 of Levinson and Associates. All right. Anyway, shifting gears, IUL Learning Center. So everything is here at your fingertips on our website. Once you're onboarded, you get full access, and most of this is free. We can even co-brand various social media videos, flyers, e-blasts, all the above. Okay, it's all no charge. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next, real quick, is talk about another great IUL, and it's kind of like a fire sale. And I'm going to tell you what just happened recently with one of our agents' cases. So, what they do with Allianz right now until the end of the month. Now, I don't know if this is going to be extended. Actually, nope, it was extended. Okay, I just saw right there in red. It does end on the 31st. That's actually Carrie's birthday, so you can wish him a happy birthday. So March 31st, 26, that is the deadline. So we have a couple months left, but the bottom line is they will literally underwrite your client. If they fall into standard, they get an automatic preferred best health class. Now, here's what's so cool, right? You can, and I even did this myself. It's okay. You can scratch your head and say, Bill, no way, too good to be true, right? Maybe the premium is inflated or the product is terrible, whatever, right? You can try to knock it, every which way. Okay, well, we just had this come up where an agent had a case approved with Allianz, preferred best. Okay, and then they also put an application in with another A plus rated company. I won't mention any names. Well, sure enough, guess what? The application with the other, we'll call it ABC carrier, right, came in at standard. And then guess what we did, right? Per the agent's request, Well, can you go to ABC Carrier and say, hey, Allianz just gave my preferred best. Can you match it? Right? You're both A plus companies, brokerage. Guess what? They said no, absolutely not. It's a standard case, standard risk. So, what does that tell us? That this is legit. Okay. The premium is great. Cash accumulation is great. Their index is great. Okay. So this is a win, win, win. And if I was an agent today, right, I would definitely consider Allianz IUL, right? Now, obviously, if it's living benefits, you're going to switch over to LSW. They have a great, great platform and products, as we just saw. But depending on the situation, this could be a slam dunk for you. And even if you need to go back through your book, right? Maybe you had a standard case, maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, and you want to reapply, right? Think about this. It's a great opportunity. Let's keep moving forward. I think we all get the point. By the way, same thing with the tobacco side. So standard to preferred on the smoker rates as well. Okay, the co branding library I mentioned earlier. What I love about this, go to the bottom left corner. You'll see a short video, minute 24 seconds. So that's all about living benefits for social media marketing or your website or both, right? And we can co brand that video for you. It's free. Send us your logo, phone number, email, and we'll get that done for you, typically in 48 hours. Let's keep moving forward. I want to make sure we get everybody out on time. I know we're running. No, we're fine. We got about 6, 7 minutes. So, LeadStar, as part of our new partnership with AmeriLife, right? We get access to the group benefits, to LeadStar. This is an A to Z sales system. It's free. Okay, it's a CRM tool. It has a recording system in here if you're working on the health side, marketing pieces, and you can even purchase leads inside of the platform. Okay, so they have seminar leads, final expense, health leads, they have live transfers, basically everything from A to Z. If you're an agent today on the independent side, right, maybe you're newer and you need that back office support, you need the platform that basically does everything for you, right? Maybe you have an admin person to help you, son or daughter, whatever it is, right? This is going to do that for you. And it's going to allow you to work on the annuity life and health side and almost have like a one stop shop dashboard. This is, in fact, even messaging is done through here. And then a text comes up to say, hey, Bill, Jenny wants to talk tomorrow at 2:30. Click here to confirm. Everything is built in. I love this. We have a webinar and a podcast you should check out if you want to dive in deeper. Let's keep moving forward. So this was just announced yesterday. So I was in Tampa for 3 days last week. We went over a lot of the new tech, sales platforms, and various tools and ways for agents to move the needle and GAs as well, right? Because everything we're talking about today, not only is it great for you, but your downline also gets full access as long as they're set up with Levinson. So you sit back and collect the overrides, okay? And you know how that works. I don't have to get into that. But here's what's so cool. So another feather in your cap, in our cap, quite frankly, as well, is Luma. So this is a turnkey sales platform that basically simplifies an FIA sale, an IUL sale. It puts everything into an easy to understand consumer presentation, right? Here's what's so cool. You have your laptop, you're sitting in front of the client at Starbucks, 7 a.m., right? And the client says, you know what, Bill, I want to do this. This is great. You press another button, that information is automatically populated right into an e-application. You hit submit and you are done. You just presented an IUL, let's say, or an FIA, right? You went from 0 to 100. They said, I'm in. The client said, great. Okay. Sign up right here. E-app, everything's populated. Fill out anything missing. Done. You just went through the entire sales process from front to the back end in 10, 15, 20 minutes tops if there's questions. And it's free. Okay. This is awesome. We're going to be launching this in the next week to 2 weeks. You'll see an announcement. But talk about exciting, right? And not a penny for you of cost. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about social media. And if you're not on social media, I hate to say it, you're riding a horse in reverse in New York City in 2026, which hopefully you're not, right? I know if you're on this call, you're not because you want to move the needle forward, or else you wouldn't be here with us today. Hopefully, you are posting at least 2 to 3 times a week. I don't care what it is, but you got to be out there, okay? Front and center. Okay, anyway, we promise you we pick a few posts each week that are performing great. And just to give you examples, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, change a few spokes. Left hand side, another word for life insurance is responsibility. Okay, do you think that opened doors? Absolutely, almost 500 doors. Do you think maybe 10%, right? Maybe sent a message to say, hey, Bill, tell me more. I want a quote. Absolutely. That's 50 new leads for free. Okay. Now, do you think you should be out there posting? Okay, check out the right-hand side. That actually reminds me of the LSW chart Vanessa just went over, right? Very simple. Layman's terms, almost 300 shares, likes, questions from that one post. Okay. And by the way, if I were you, I would go on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, even TikTok now, right? You can do a search, put top performing life insurance posts, and it's going to show you what's working great for others. Don't take my word, right? See what other agents in the field are doing. All right. Anyway, let's keep moving. Bill Levinson Experience Podcast. Yes, we were the first IMO in the brokerage space with a podcast almost 9 years ago now. Gary Vaynerchuk was our first guest speaker. In fact, this was his idea. So here we are, fast forward 26. Scott Perry, the CEO of AmeriLife, over 5,000 employees, almost $1 billion company now. Anyway, he changed the direction of this company. He's got a great story to tell. It's an hour long. Check that out when you can. I think you'll love it. Wait till you see what's coming up next month. You're going to be very happy. And you should check out all the prior episodes as well. Okay, I am almost done here. We're getting everyone out on time. Don't worry. So we have 2 live in-person trainings coming up in the next few months. So write down these dates. So real fast, we have a breakfast training in South Florida. If you are from Tampa all the way down to Key West, you should come to this event. It's on the 13th, just a couple weeks away. 8:45 breakfast training. You're going to learn a ton when it comes to Levinson and Transamerica's new platform. We're going to have our VP there. We're having giveaways and, of course, a nice breakfast buffet for you all and a great chance to network. Make sure you register now. And then, of course, the expo, right? April 17th. You can't miss these 2 events. By the way, I don't care if you're in. We have agents coming from Hawaii for the expo. So make sure you register. No excuse. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, this is our menu of training events. Now, we tweak this every single week after our marketing calls based on our agent feedback. So this is everything that's coming up in the next few months. We'll include this in the thank you email we send out tonight. So everything's in front of you. And then just register for whatever you want to learn more about. Okay, that's my suggestion to you. And then what we do is you got to be on these live like you are now, but we send these out about 2 to 3 weeks later if you happen to miss it. And we do that to make sure that everybody's on, everybody's here live asking questions. And then, especially with new product or carrier launches, you can be the first to run and start quoting and writing that new product. So, very important stuff. Let's keep moving. My final slide, and then we'll put a bow on this. I know it's 3 o'clock, and this is great because every webinar this year we've been on time, and that was one of my goals. So, we're doing that. Okay, real fast, top left hand side. Being persistent will help you get what you want. Being consistent will help you keep what you want, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's about, especially as an agent in our business. Persistency and consistency every single day, 24/7, and then that needle starts to move, whatever it takes. Question of the day. Get your little fingers on the keyboard because you got to be quick and you got to be correct. I'm going to ask the question. Just type in the answer into that chat box, okay? Question is, I mentioned 2 live in-person trainings or meetings, okay, in Florida. I mentioned 2 upcoming in-person live trainings that we're hosting, okay? One is the breakfast training, one is our expo. Tell me the dates, 2 dates. Tell me the dates and you win. I mentioned the breakfast training. I'll give you a little hint. It's coming up in a few weeks. And then I mentioned the expo, our big powwow of the year, which is coming up in a few months. Little hint. Tell me the date of each event, and you win an Apple iWatch with your first paid application. Andrew's going to tell us who was first and who was correct.
Okay, we have a winner. It is Jocelyn W. Jocelyn W.
Congrats, Jocelyn. The answer is February 13th, breakfast training. April 17th is the Levinson Annual Expo. Let's have a great Thursday, great selling. Thank you again for hanging in there with us today. Reach out anytime. We're here to help you. And thank you, Vanessa at LSW. Great selling, and thanks again.